everyone, I'm Ethan from ECT Films, and welcome to RC Tech Tip Episode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed your New Year's. It's 2016 after all, and sorry if I sound a little bit weird because I'm sick. But anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how to stabilize your slipper clutch. Now, you might be asking me, what is this all about? Now, if you're watching this video, you might have experienced spur gear stripping, which is really common with two-wheel drive RC cars, especially on 3S. The reason being, no matter how tight you tighten this, the spring is always going to compress. I loosened this up a bit, but the spring is always going to compress, and your spur gear is going to start wobbling because the spring is going to keep jiggling around. And the spur gear is going to wobble. Next thing you know, it's going to go to a weird angle, and it'll get all messed up. Okay? And that's a problem because since the spring is almost flawed, you could say, because it's going to jiggle around your spur gear, and when it jiggles, sometimes power distribution will get messed up. More power could go to the left wheel or instead of the right, or vice versa, because of this one little tiny spring. And this causes spur gear stripping under high power, especially on 3S, because all that power is bending and cringing that little spring. So today I'll show you how to modify this. All you need is a few washers, but first and foremost, let's take off this spring here. Just take off the nut. Now I know this is my HPI Blitz, but I know all vehicles have different transmission or slipper clutch formats. But in this case, this is for my Blitz. You can always just follow these steps for any vehicle. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to modify this. There's two ways you can do this. First way, we're going to get rid of this spring completely, okay? We're just going to get rid of it completely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a medium-sized washer. Make sure it's about this size, just enough to cover the internal hole on your, the internal, like what's that called? Like a little hole right here. You see this right here? It's pushed in, it's cringed in right here. That circular hole, make sure it covers that. This little plate that goes over the spur gear. It's different for many different vehicles, but in this case, it's about this size. Keep in mind, every vehicle has their own different type of slipper clutch. The slipper clutch plate right here can be bigger or smaller. Just make sure that it's big enough to go over the internal hole in there. As you can see, this fits over perfectly. But like I said, I'm not telling you the exact size. Every vehicle has its own size. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put two more little washers over it, like so. They'll cover about 3/4 of the way, if not a little bit smaller. So we're going to put two of these little washers right here. I'm going to put one more, if I have one around here. Do I have a small little washer? Nope, I don't have another one. Okay, but I would prefer to put 3 of them if I could find. Here we go. And here's the one more. So here we go. We got 3 washers right there. Perfect. Then we're going to take a little lock nut right here. As you can see, this will lock over. Let me show you it. It's a little locking washer. It has a little tiny mark on it. Let me see if I can show you so you can fully understand it, what they look like. I'm sure you've seen them before. Just see if you can understand. I don't know if you see that, but it's a locking washer. And what it does is essentially, get a good angle here. See that right there? And if you see that right here, that is where it locks off at. So under pressure, this will lock. Just look for locking washers. Just type it in online or look at your local hardware store, and you'll see it. Just get really small ones that fit almost over the internal diameter. And essentially what this is going to do is lock in all those washers we just put in. So, but it has to be under good pressure though. So let's put this in. Then we're going to tighten it. Make sure it tightens pretty tight. Like so. It has to be tight for this thing to work. As you can see, that locks in perfectly. Couldn't be better. And now this is perfect when you're doing speed runs and all kinds of stuff, because this is extremely secure and this is not going anywhere. I do this when I'm running on 3S going 80 miles per hour, running the 35 tooth pinion, or if you're doing extremely hard bashing. This really helps. And it's really tight, really snug fit, as you guys can see. And it looks pretty cool as well. So, tighten it. Make sure it's tight though. Not too tight, just tight enough. It'll still stay loose. But what you're trying to do is, it really helps. I tested it. I am very surprised on how much this helps. What happens is, let me bring this little spring out so I can demonstrate to you guys. This little spring wobbles under high speed. It wobbles and shakes. And it's a spring. It's going to compress naturally under high speed, as you guys can see right here. And that's normal for that to happen, right? Because it's under high speeds. So essentially what this is doing is preventing that completely, because it's just pushing up on there without any little spring. Now, the only downside I would say is adjustable slipper clutch. This is not very adjustable because it's just 3 big washers, and it's not very adjustable. And that's one downside with it, I would say, because it's not very adjustable. And you can't really fine tune it if you want to. This is just for full power, full speed. But the next one I'm going to show you is that we're going to put back on the spring, but it's still going to stay very stable. Not as stable as this, because this is extremely stable. It's not going to be as stable as this, that's for sure. But it's going to be stable, more stable than stock, yet adjustable. So let me show you that now. So I showed you guys extreme stability under high speeds. What I just showed you, the last one, it's perfect. So if you're going high speeds, lots of crashes, you want extreme stability, it stops your spur gear from stripping, makes the ride much smoother, and evenly distributes power on both wheels. But this one is going to be a little bit less stable, but it's definitely going to be more stable than stock. This is going to be a little less stable than the one I showed you earlier, but more adjustable. Actually, a lot more adjustable. So let's get into it. Okay, you're going to need let me get it out right here. This medium-sized washer and a big washer, about right here, a bigger washer, like that, and a medium-sized washer. And make sure, like I said, that it stays, the medium-sized washer is the size of that inner cup in here. Lots of vehicle slipper clutches, inner cup is different. If it doesn't have an inner cup, just make sure it covers the inner diameter of the spur gear. Inner diameter, which is this little plate right here. Okay, so we put this washer over. We take our medium-sized washer, we put that in. Then we take our big washer and put that straight over, like so. Now this is going to be a lot more adjustable, yet still very stable. So we're going to screw this in, hand tighten first. And the important thing is you want to make sure these washers don't hang too much. Make sure that they stay pretty straight. And then we just screw. Whoops, what happened there? Hopefully my tool didn't get stripped there. If it did, I'm going to be upset about that, because it's been giving me some problems, so hopefully. Alright, let me get this nut first, and we'll screw that on. Sorry about that. It's a little bit meticulous to get this on. Okay, come on, and screw. There we go. Okay, perfect. Tighten it in. Make sure you get that tightened in. Okay, there we go. It's tightening. And make sure the spring does compress. Like I said, you can adjust it for however tight or however loose. So this is perfect if you're racing on the track or you're very fine-tuning your vehicle. So in this way, you can loosen it a little bit like that, like a little bit more. You could tighten it, whatever you want to do. So that's 2 ways of doing it. I didn't make my washer perfectly straight. Make sure that you do make it pretty straight. But there you go. Pretty simple to do. And what you want to do is when you're tightening, I forgot to do that, you want to straighten out your washer. I didn't do that. I just wanted to show you it. But you can see that's pretty cool what you could do here. So I showed you 2 ways. One way is more adjustable than the other. The other way is just full out, as strong as possible, great for bashing and all sorts of stuff. Personally, I prefer the first way 100%. But everyone has their own opinion on it. That's how I personally feel. But if you like to be adjustable with it, this is the perfect way to go. So yep, that's pretty much it for that. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you did like the video. Just subscribe for more. I post all sorts of videos like this. I don't really have an upload schedule. I just post them. And yeah, I hope this video did help you guys out. It definitely helped me out. I just thought I would share it with you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to comment, rate, like, and subscribe.